Hey, what's happening? This is your host Tinto, and before we get started on this weekend's episode, I thought to give a shout to everybody that got me coffees this week. Starting with you, Tsunki. You got me 4 fabulous coffees, and your comment there is Pamsoro itanyanya kuinjoya tisingape zipo. As you thank you so much for your generosity. And just today we received an incredible number of coffees from Ali. Thank you so much, Ali, for your coffees. And your comment is, Tinto, it's your laugh, your expressions, my way. You are awesome. I love the podcast and I've been sharing it with all of my friends. Great job. Thank you so much for not just the generosity, but going a step further in sharing this with your friends, colleagues, family. This is how the podcast grows. So if you guys would like it to continue growing in the manner that it has, there's 2 things you can do. 1, share it with your friends and family. And then secondly, head over to www.buymeacoffee.com/feeling station and give as your spirit leads. What's important for me to stress is there's nothing too small to support the podcast that you've grown to love. And we continue to grow with that support. So with that out of the way, how about we get into this weekend's episode?
Is that a breakup? I think we have a situation right here on the Feeling Station.
Hey, what's happening? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Welcome to the Feeling Station.
Thank you.
And how you feeling?
Oh, I'm nervous. I'm really nervous. I don't know why.
I'm kind of getting tired of this excuse that I'm nervous. And yet everybody who speaks on the podcast does not sound nervous. So come on, get your big girl pants
my
on.
My heart is racing.
Get your big girl pants on.
I tried. I have them on right now.
For those who are listening to this podcast for the first time, it touches on breakup stories that people would like to talk about with a view to give you lessons from my guest experience. And one of the reasons why the podcast is doing great is that I do my best to keep my guests anonymous, which brings me to the fun part, right? And that's the part that I give you the name that you can use for the duration of this episode. Are you ready for this one?
I'm ready.
So your name is going to be Zuri, which is Zuri. Zuri. And
Zuri?
Yeah, Zuri. Yeah. And that's a name from East Africa, which means beautiful.
Thank you. I am pretty. I know that.
Oh, yeah. So, that's your name. And what are you going to call the guy that we're going to talk about?
Oh, my God. I've been thinking about it and I don't know. Like, I've been trying to find a name and I couldn't find anything.
Don't overcomplicate the process. Finding a name is a lot simpler than you think it actually is, okay?
I think so, because I came up with one.
Right.
Ajigija.
Yeah.
Because...
What's the name?
Ajigija. You know, like...
What? Ajigija?
Yeah, like the clown. What? You know, in Zim, the clown, they call him Ajigija, right?
Wow. Okay. So is this guy going to be called Ajigija?
Yes. And I don't think he's a clown, actually. It's just that my mom gave him that name.
Okay.
Because she didn't trust him and all. So
Really?
Yes.
Yikes.
Yes.
This is really interesting because parents are hardly wrong, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And so this sounds like one of those where parents might have been 100% right. Okay, so this is about Zuri and Ajigija.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and another reason why the podcast is doing great is that there are real life lessons that people learn from the story that you're going to share today. So, what would you like people to learn?
First one is... Okay, the first one is sometimes things might feel like love or something that feels like love doesn't mean it's really love.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, and the second one?
The second one, date your type or date someone who's on your on your level. Date someone who's on your level.
Okay, so date your type with somebody who's on your level. And do you have a third lesson?
No, I don't.
Okay, cool. So, the 2 lessons that I have is sometimes things feel like love, but it really isn't. And then the second lesson is date your type or someone who's on your level.
Yes.
Those are very 2 interesting lessons, bearing in mind that there's a clown involved in this episode.
Actually, he's not.
Okay,
he's
right. Not. So, let's get into it, Zuri. Where did you meet Ajigija and why did you feel he was the right guy for you?
Oh my God, did I feel like he was the right guy? Probably not. I don't know. But anyway. So, he was my teacher.
He was your teacher?
Yes, my tutor.
Where?
If you want to call it that. I don't have to say the country. In
Uh,
them.
okay.
Yes. So when I was about to write my O levels,
Mm-hmm.
I was actually in Form 3 and I wanted like a tutor for accounting and math. So this guy, actually, my mom is the one who met him first, because at their house they had like, those pre-K schools.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know them. Yes. So those ones, and then, she wanted to take my little brother there. So she goes there and then, they talk, blah, blah. And then he says that he teaches accounting because he's an accountant and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then my mom is like, yeah, you know what? Can you teach my child?
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah. And then, he came to our house and then I met him. And then, yeah, that's how we met.
So how did you guys then move from numbers to body parts? Like,
Okay.
chemistry, biology are completely different to accounting. How the hell did that transition happen?
So the thing is this, right? When I was young, I liked to date people who were like a little older than I was. And that's what led to that. So he wasn't old. He was like maybe 7, 8 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
So, he was a fun guy. He was really cute in my eyes. And then, we were doing school stuff. And then one day, actually, he said that he wanted to take my pictures. And then I was like, yeah, sure. And then he started taking my pictures. And then we ended up taking pictures together.
Aibo, but this is weird, man.
Why?
Aren't you in the middle of accounting lessons? Then somebody's asking you to take pictures.
Well, because we became friends. So it wasn't like, so formal.
Okay.
It was like not formal. Like we would talk. He wasn't trying to be like a teacher. He was trying to be like a friend, because he had intentions, sort of. So that's why it was so easy for us to take pictures together or for us to, talk like that, because it wasn't like really formal.
Yeah. Okay,
So, cool. So then, yeah, we started taking pictures, and then he had his friends over. There were some guys who stayed like in his neighborhood, so he had his friends over, and then one of the friends actually liked me, and I think that's what led him to actually asking me out, because he was afraid the other friend was gonna ask me out first.
Wow.
Yes.
Talk about feeling a little
Yes.
inferior to another brother. Why not do it
I
out of
know.
your own accord? Because you really like someone, so just go ahead and do it.
Yes, I thought as much, but I liked the guy, so I was like, yeah, why not? And I was young. I think I was like, how old? That was like, oh my God, when I was in Form 3.
Okay.
That's like 16.
Yeah.
When I was 16. So I was young and I was not dating anybody, and he was really cute. So I said, yes, let's date. And then we started dating. It was fun. Because I was doing it behind my mom's back, behind everybody else's back.
Do you know what I've always said? It's usually the thrill of stolen waters being sweet. That's why it felt so fun for you guys. Because you kind of felt, we shouldn't really be doing this, but we're going to do it anyway.
It did, because, when my mom finally found out, it was a whole case. My mom is something else. So, yeah, so then we started dating, and I was going to his house for the lessons, right? I would get there, and most times he was by himself, like his parents were not there. So when I get there, we do school for a little bit, we play for a little bit,
What does
and
playing
that's how
mean?
it went. By playing, we did play, like really play, like would play games.
Okay.
Mind you, I was young.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm thinking.
Yes, so we did play like real playing, like games or just talk, or he would cook for me and all of that, or I would go clean his room, stuff like that. That's what I did when I went there. So the relationship was good, because I felt like at that point I didn't need a lot from him, because I also didn't know what I wanted out of the relationship. So things were really good, because all he did was, teach me, come pick me up from my house. And he was driving. So, I don't know, during that time, it was a big deal dating someone with a car, because I didn't have one.
It's still a big deal now, from what I hear.
Yeah,
but one of the questions
really?
that a lot of ladies ask is, do you drive? And if the answer is no, brother, it's gonna be a bit tricky for you.
Yeah, it's not a big deal for me now,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but back then it really was a big deal, like, for him to come to my school and pick me up so that people can see me.
Mm-hmm.
All of that.
Wow. What I remember those in high school, when parents would come
Yeah.
and pick up kids from school, it will all be about the car
Mhm.
that you picked up in. So I get that whole vibe of you getting picked up from school.
Yes, by
Okay.
my boyfriend who has a
Mm-hmm.
car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was really like that. And
Mm-hmm.
then this guy, if
Mm.
I told you, even though it was so much fun like that, we never went on a date.
Oh.
Not even one. And we dated for 4 years. So,
Oh.
yes.
How did that
But
happen?
so the thing was that thing where I didn't know what I wanted and I thought what he was giving me was the best.
Okay.
Yeah, it felt
And
like
and I guess you wouldn't have really known because you at such a tender age, you didn't have the exposure for, what really
uh
good stuff would have been. So that's
yes.
understandable. Mm.
Yeah, so I didn't know what I wanted, so I'm not gonna blame him because maybe if I knew what I wanted, then I would have told him
Yeah.
or communicated it. But I also didn't know what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy, he would come and let's say I want to go get my hair done. He would come and pick me up, take me
Mm-hmm.
to the place. He never paid for it, not even one time.
Mm-hmm.
My mom would always pay for it, so he would come and pick me up,
Mm-hmm.
take me. I still remember there was one time we were going to Tafar. It's a city in Zim,
Mm-hmm.
and I was going there to get my hair done. And
Mm-hmm.
then my mom had sent me money, but I forgot it at home.
Okay.
She had not sent me. She had given me money and I had forgotten it at home. So by the time we're already on the way, I tell him, "Oh my God, I forgot the money, blah, blah, can you pay for me?" And then he's like, "No, I cannot pay for you because I don't have it." And I'm like, "I will give you back. I'm not asking for you to just give it to me and I won't give it back. I do have the money. It's just that it's at home." And then
Mm-hmm.
he was like, "No, I cannot do that. The money that I have right now is all calculated. I don't do things without calculating my money, blah, blah, blah."
Okay. Right. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, "No problem. No, 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 that's cool. Don't worry about it." It's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go there and then lucky my grandparents stay there. So I ended up passing by my grandparents' house and I asked for some money. And then I got my hair done and then I came back home. That was that incident.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that incident passes away. Then we're still dating. The only things we would eat, maputi and freeze it. That's all he bought for me that
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes, just and they cost 10 cents.
Jeez. Yeah, yeah. That's what I was thinking. Maputi, yeah, at most, would be, well, I don't know how much it costs now.
Mhm.
But whenever we used to buy them, Maputi would be about 10 cents max, and then the freezer would be 5 cents. So this
Yes.
guy is
So
spending
that
15 cents on you.
Yes, 15 cents on me,
Wow.
and that was the most. And mind you, I didn't see a problem with it because it was fun. Like it was really fun being around this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like we would vibe if we're listening to music. We even had a favorite song. Like it was so much fun being around this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Um Such that I didn't see all of these things that he wasn't doing for me.
Mm-hmm.
And also because like my mom had told me like, "Oh, don't expect anything from a guy." So it's like she would tell me, "I'll do everything for you," all of that. So me asking for something from a guy was actually something that I wasn't used to.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was the other reason.
Okay.
And then it so happened that after that whole hair done incident passes, I'm about to get my license back home. So I was doing my driving test and all of that. And then I was like, "Hey, I'm going to write my test. Do you mind coming with me? I'm a little scared or whatever, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll come with you."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's all right. And then I call him on the day, "Hey, it's today. Are you coming to pick me up? Or what's gonna happen, right?" And then
Mm-hmm.
this guy is nowhere to be found. This guy doesn't show up. This guy doesn't call me. He doesn't do anything, right? And then I keep calling his phone. And then while I'm calling his phone like that, it's now going to voicemail. And then he later calls me, later after I've already come back.
Dodgy.
And then and then I'm like, where were you? You know, I was scared. I wanted to write my exam, blah, blah. And then he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm in Vic Falls right now.
What?
I'm like, what are you doing in Vic Falls? You knew I had, this test today. Then he's like, so he has a traveling agency.
Okay.
So, yes, he does these trips for people and all of that. So then when I'm asking him, like, but you knew I had this and it's important to me and I'm scared. So, why didn't you at least just tell me?
Yeah.
And then he's like, I didn't think about it. It was an emergency, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, it's fine. And then somebody talks in the background. Like a lady. She says something in the background. And then I ask him, oh, who's that? And then he's like, yeah, it's one of the people I took on the trip and whatever. I'm like, yeah, okay, no problem. Cool. Right? And then after saying all of that, I had like a feeling that, something might not be right and all of that. But I was just like, I'm not even going to think about it. And mind you, this time we're 2 years in. So I'm like, he hasn't cheated on me. So this is fine. It's not a big deal. That's cool. And then I think, and then we go back. So it was like after something happens, we'll go back and have a really nice time together. Like we'll have this period when everything is fine, we're vibing, everything is okay. And then we'll go back to like something will pop up and something like that will happen, right? And then another time, so he invites me to like a party for one of his friends. And mind you, this guy is already working and I'm still in school, right? I'm now in Form 4. I'm writing my exams, right? And then he invites me to this party with his friends or whatever. I get there and everybody is an adult and I'm still young. So, So, like when you're young and they're adults, they're girls who are actually now mature, who are taking care of themselves, who can do makeup nicely, who know how to dress themselves. Not saying I didn't know how to dress myself, but because I wasn't using my own money, there's a limit to what you can do if you're using somebody else's money.
Yeah,
like
true.
my mom.
Yeah.
But these ladies, they were like, dressing really well. They looked really nice, makeup on point, hair on point, and all of that. And I felt some type of way because I know my boyfriend is an adult and he can easily, date one of these women here. But he's dating me, a student. I looked okay. I'm not going to say I was looking nice, but I looked okay at that point. And then while we're there, he's just flirting with everybody. And it's a side that I had not seen before.
And is doing this in your face?
Not necessarily in my face. I don't think he had like I don't think he was saying, "Oh, I want to do it in her face." But it's like I had never seen him flirt with anybody just because I had never been around his friends
or people he knew. Yeah.
So it's something that I was actually finding out that, hey, you know what, this guy is a flirt. And I didn't know. So he's flirting with everybody. And then this girl comes to me and then she introduces herself. Hi, Ndini, my guru. Like the big wife. I don't know.
Yeah.
The old wife. I don't know. But yeah. So then this girl is actually saying that, oh, I'm the older wife, right? And then I'm like, my name is for you, so that she can introduce herself. And this woman doesn't introduce herself. She just says, my name is my guru. And I don't know, like, who she is, where she's from, nothing, right? And then I asked the guy, I'm like, hey, this girl came to me and she was saying she's, my guru. What is that about? And then he says it so casually, like, oh, yeah, that's my ex-girlfriend.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, she's your ex-girlfriend. You didn't think it was important to tell me that? Like, how can you just, like, let me come here and not even know what I'm getting myself into, right?
And your ex is here.
Yeah, like, how are you just going to do that? And then he's like, I didn't think it was a big deal because I'm with you, so it doesn't matter, right? Like, I chose you or I'm choosing you, blah, blah,
Mm-hmm.
kind of say stuff so that I just believe it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no problem. And during that time, it was like, because I don't know if it was because I was a child or I wasn't just like I wasn't outspoken, but that time I never used to question anything. So it's like whatever he says, that's what I would just
Okay,
believe.
right. Of course, of course. You wouldn't have had to learn to do that because you were still relatively young. So you've got
Yeah.
that trusting spirit and that trusting soul where whatever someone tells you goes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So that was our relationship where I would just believe everything he was saying. I was this sweet, respectful girl.
Mm.
I'm still respectful, but but yeah. So then, what happens later is this, right? So that night was ruined. You could feel the tension because now I'm looking at the other girl, and I know I'm not
Okay.
supposed to, but I'm sort of like comparing myself with how she looked. She was looking really nice. She was so beautiful. Like
Yikes.
yes, and I'm dressed like someone who's in Form 4, pretty much.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, that's what I was just
That is
knowing.
bound to make you feel a type of way, definitely.
It did make me feel
Mm.
all sorts of ways. Like I was feeling everything in that moment. If I like, yes, I was feeling everything. So then what happens was like, what happened after that was that we went home, right? Yeah, the night finished, and then we ended up going home, and then everything was okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we got home the next day, and I'm about to write my O-level exams now.
Mm-hmm.
It's close to November. So that day he comes, and then he says, "Oh, can I come and see you just for a little bit?" Because he was working and I was also at school. So he comes, sees me, like just comes outside, like where I stay, and then he says hi. We talk, we hug. And yeah, I had not slept with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't sleep with him the
Mm-hmm.
whole relationship until we ended.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just love. I don't know where that love came from, but it was just love from my side.
Yeah.
So at that time, he comes, right, and then he sees me. I was wearing these jeans, and I was skinnier than I am right now. Like right now, I'm actually big, but that time I was skinny, maybe like 130 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wearing these jeans, and then he gives me a hug, and then he says, "Oh, I feel some love handles,"
Okay.
like just like that. "I think you're getting big." And I'm
Mm.
130 pounds. Like I'm small and
Yeah.
I'm really, really, really skinny. You can see all the bones. And he
Mm-hmm.
says, "Oh, yeah, I feel some love handles. I think you need to hit the gym." Right?
Mm.
I was like, "Oh, really?" And back then I was eating a lot too, but so I was like, "Yeah, it's okay. I think I really do need to hit the
Yeah.
gym." I started going to the gym, but I hate the gym. That's the honest truth. So
So this wasn't out of love for the gym, but it was for
for this
for
guy,
him, really.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm already skinny. And
Mm-hmm.
then I started not eating. And my mom is asking me, "Hey, why are you losing weight? You're already skinny." And I didn't believe her
Mm.
because my love said that I'm gaining weight, so I need to reduce my food intake.
Mm.
So then I started losing weight, and it wasn't nice. And then he didn't stop there. Another day. And okay, so I have these things on my face.
Okay.
Little spots on my face.
Mm-hmm.
So I got them from my parents. My mom has it. She got it from her mom too. So it was like
Okay. It's
passed
hereditary.
down to
Yeah.
yes. So we've been dating for over close to 3 years now, and this guy has seen me every day, right? So you know
Mm-hmm.
what I look like. All of a sudden he says, "Oh, the things on your face. Have you ever tried to like do stuff to them so that they come off?"
You gotta be kidding me. You gotta
And
be
mind you, this was
joking.
the nice guy who was so sweet all like the whole time we've been dating. But all of a sudden he's changing. He's now talking about my body. He's now talking about the things on my face. And like I told you, I was so like I don't know, but I didn't love myself enough
Yeah. Yeah.
during
Yeah.
that time.
Mm-hmm.
I guess what I did, I went on YouTube trying to find how to take them off.
Lord of mercy.
Yes. The worst scenario is what happened. Like I ended up peeling the whole skin off my face,
Oh
putting
my gosh.
Yes, putting aloe vera gel. On YouTube you find videos with like that say that, open the scars or open it and then put aloe vera gel inside. It will
No.
remove it.
Tell me something. How painful was it to open those?
It was painful because the whole skin was gone. Pretty much, there was no skin. There was no skin under my eyes. There was no skin for real. So I had to go to the doctor after I had tried to do it myself. My mom had to take me to the doctor because it wasn't good. So yeah, I tried. They even have some that say use bananas. I
Oh
don't know.
my
You
goodness.
wrap bananas on your face overnight and
I'm
then you
guessing
wake
none
up
of these worked.
bro, I still have them. I still have the spots on my face.
That is
So
crazy.
yeah, it didn't work. And
Mm.
that was that. So then I finally write my all of the exams. And because we had never gone on a date, he had promised me that the day I finished my exams, the first Saturday, he was gonna take me out. He was gonna take me on a real date. I was super excited. So I finished my exams. I think it was on a Thursday, and then I spoke with my mom. I told her I'm going on a date. So let's go back. So my mom finally finds out I'm dating this guy.
How did your
Right?
how did your mom find out?
Oh, she found text messages. My mom would always open my phone, read my messages, and all of that. So she finally finds out that I'm dating him. And then when she finds out, she says, I want to meet him because he's an adult. I want to talk to him. He has already graduated school. He's not someone who's your age. So it's like
Yeah,
he's
of course,
ahead of
yeah.
you. I need to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, sure. So my mom invites him to our house. And mind you, this guy, have you ever seen those guys who are extra, who like when they're talking to parents, they act like they're about to kneel down, they don't know what to do.
One of those
Like,
respectable
oh,
boys, yeah? Respectable
yes,
in
that was
quotes.
him.
Okay.
That was him. The one who's gonna like lick my mom's fingers. That was him.
Wow.
Like, oh my god, that was the guy. And then my mom, like, it's like my mom's so right for him. Like the day he came, then my mom asked him what he wanted with me. He said, "Oh, I'm gonna marry her." And she's like, "Yeah, she's in school. She's writing an olive. I don't want her to like fail." And then he's like, no, she's not gonna fail." And at that time, when she found out, then my mom was like, "Well, if you're dating, why is she still paying for classes, right?" And then my mom is like, and then he's like, don't worry, she's not gonna pay anymore. So now he's teaching me for free.
Mad
And
thing.
then,
At least you scored something there.
yes, at least I got something out of
Yeah.
it. So now he's teaching me for free and all of that. So yes, now I'm writing my all of those, and then I tell my mom I'm gonna go on a date because at least now, my mom has his number. They're now talking. Whenever I'm late, from coming, like I'm not home, she calls him. Hey, where's my daughter? If I'm with him, things like that. So they were now talking. And then this guy now, he said he was gonna come, take me on a date the first Saturday after I finished my exams. So I remember I finished on a Thursday. Friday, I had told my mom, so she said, "Let's go to the salon, get your hair done, your nails done, lashes, all of that, so I look pretty, right?" Okay. So I go and I get everything done. And I'm ready. I'm ready for Saturday. I get home. I have my clothes out. I have everything. Like I'm just waiting to wake up the next day. He had said he was gonna come at 10. So I sleep. The next day I wake up. He agreed. Like, the day before he actually said he was coming. So it's not like he had said it before and then, he went and no. The day before we spoke, and he had said that he was gonna come, pick me up. The day comes, I wake up so early. I did my chores, I got dressed, put some makeup on. I'm looking cute.
Yeah.
It's 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11, 11:30, 12, 1, 2, 3. This guy is nowhere to be found.
Ooh. Are you being stood up here?
I'm being serious.
Oh
Nowhere to
dear.
be found. And then my mom texts me. So my mom is like, "Oh, just text me to see how it's going." And then I tell her I'm still at home. And then she goes on his profile and then takes a screenshot of his profile picture. And on his profile picture, there were three people: him, this other guy who was his cousin, and there was another girl who was in the middle. So let's call her Princess, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So Princess is in the middle. And then my mom was looking at this picture and then she calls me, she's like, Zuri, do you see this girl in the middle? That's Ajigija's girlfriend. I'm like, no.
Ooh.
No, he would never do something like that to me. Actually, that's the other guy's girlfriend, the cousin. So I was like,
Mm.
no, that's the other guy's girlfriend. It's not him. I know him. He's never going to do that to me, whatever. I defended this guy. And my mom was like, oh, okay, no problem. And that's the same day I'm supposed to be on a date with him, right?
Yikes.
So what had happened was he had gone out with Princess.
Mhm.
They had gone to one of these lakes and them. They were taking pictures. They were on a boat. They were doing all this nice stuff. And I'm at home all dressed up, waiting for this guy to come.
How messed up is that? Because you were geared and ready to go.
Yes, and he had promised, and he kept saying that he was gonna come.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if he had just told me that day that, hey, something came up, I'm not gonna come, I probably would have believed him.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't. So I think while they were at the lake, the girl ended up taking his phone, and she saw my messages with him. So the things we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, I ended up finding out later that they had been dating for like a month then.
When we say months,
So-
is it like 2 months, 3 months?
No, like a month, just
Oh,
one
just
month.
a month. Okay.
So they started dating in November, the month that I was finishing my exams.
Mm-hmm.
So she texts me. So I'm just getting off the phone with my mom,
Mhm.
and then this number is calling me. It's blasting my phone. And then I'm like, hi, who's this? And then she's like, my name is Princess. Stay away from my boyfriend.
Ooh.
I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, my name is Princess. Stay away from my boyfriend. I'm in the CID. Those
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
CID.
that's like criminal
Yes.
investigation.
Yes.
CIO, MI5 type people.
Yes, she's like, I work with the president here. I'm a guard, and she wasn't lying. She is for real in the CID. I know where
Really?
you. Yes,
Oh,
she's like, I'm
dear.
in the CID. I know I can track you up and beat you up. Stay away from my boyfriend. Like she went all in. If I was ever scared, I was scared that time.
Yeah.
Like I was
Yeah,
really
yeah.
scared. And funny enough, I didn't say anything. I didn't even say anything other than hello, who's this?
Mm-hmm.
And then she hung up. And then what did I do? Text my boyfriend. Hey, Ajigija,
Mm-hmm.
who's this person?
Mm-hmm.
I just received a call from this person saying, you're the boyfriend and I should stay away from you. Guess what he says to me?
What did he say?
This asshole.
Mm.
Oh my God. He was like, don't do anything to upset her.
Ah!
Just leave her like that. Don't upset her. Don't say anything.
What?
When I tell you he's an asshole, he is an asshole.
What? So he's basically
Yes.
saying, be kind to her. Well, I guess it's obvious why.
Yes.
Because
Yes, be kind.
because she's the. Oh my gosh! And how did you react? What did you say?
I just started crying. And that time, now I'm loud.
Mm.
Like I'm really loud. But back then I wasn't really like, loud. So I was just heartbroken and I was just crying and I was like, what do you mean? Is she your girlfriend? He's like, no, I didn't say that, but I'm just saying if she texts you, don't say anything. If anything, just block her so that you don't get her mad. She's my friend.
Eish.
I'm like, what kind of a friend is that?
And what kind
And
of
then
friend
he
would get
goes
mad?
Yes.
If you decide to text back and say whatever you had to say.
Yes. And then guess what? I text him. I'm like, please explain yourself because I don't understand what's
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
You were supposed to come and pick me up, and now all of this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes MIA. I never heard from him for like 2-3 weeks. This guy didn't give me an explanation or anything right after that.
Mm-hmm.
And 2-3 weeks down the line, he still hasn't said anything. He knows where I stay. He hasn't come to see me. I've tried going to his house, and I loved this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to his house so I can talk to him. He's not there. And his parents knew me, but I think he never told them what we were. Or even if they did,
Mm-hmm.
they knew it wasn't going anywhere, but they were just playing along with it because he was the only boy. So he was sort of like spoiled. But it's like the parents would always see me at the house, but I don't think they ever like he explained what we were. Because let me tell you, the worst thing then happened.
Mm.
we ended up moving from where we were staying to 3 houses away from his house.
Mm-hmm.
And we've broken up. So we're staying like literally down the road from his house. If I'm out, like,
Hey, can you imagine that?
Yes. So now if I'm in, if I'm at home, I can literally see him. Like I can see his house. When he comes back home from
No
work, I can
way.
see it.
Was this a deliberate move or just pure chance?
Pure chance. It was my mom.
Damn.
My mom just said pure chance, and I was staying like down the road from him.
Yeah.
And then this guy, so now he's bringing the other girl, and mind you, he hasn't given me an explanation of what's going on. He's bringing the other girl over, so they would come, in his car. The one that I used to sit on the mother's seat. Now she's the one
Oh my god.
on the mother's. So now they come, right?
Yeah.
And she would be walking in there. And the other thing that was heartbreaking was that because when we were dating all this time, we would go to his neighborhood because we weren't staying far away from each other. It was just like different neighborhoods, but it was really so close. So we would always go, and when we went there, we would walk together. So it's like everybody knew that we were together. So now that I'm now staying in his neighborhood, those people who used to sing us together now started asking me questions. Hey, we're seeing a Jiggy Jar with this girl. Are they dating? Because we think they're dating. What happened with you? Now everybody is asking me all those questions, and I don't have an answer. Like it was really bad. And then I see him one day, and then he comes, and then he just says hi. And I say hi, and then he's like, "I'll call you some other time, and then we'll talk." And that was it. After 3 weeks of not talking, after all this time of you not saying anything, right? I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't call him. Now I know I was depressed, but back then I didn't know that I was actually depressed. I wasn't eating. I was losing weight, and then and mind you, I was skinny. So
Yikes! Yeah. You did say you were skinny already. So
I'm losing weight that I don't have. And we had a favorite song by Japreza, Watora Mari. So whenever I would hear that song, I would just start crying. Yeah, I'll just start crying thinking about the love. Thinking about all the love that we had. But then I didn't move on. Let me say that. So I finally find another job to work like in between. So then I start working that job, and then this guy, he starts taking me going out in the morning, going somewhere. Obviously I didn't have a car, so I was going to like take those commuter buses. So then he would see me, so we would leave like almost the same time. So when I'm getting out of my house, he's getting out of his house. So he's in his car, and I'm walking down the road so I can get a one of those. So at first he would like, try to get me into his car. Let me give you a ride. I'm like, no, I'm good. Thank you. And then I would go. And then I finally found somebody else. I finally found this guy who was interested in me. But I wasn't interested in him. Like I was still just thinking about Jiggy Jai. He was the love of my life.
Of course, at that time, right?
At that time, yeah. So then, like, I'm talking to this guy, and then I think Facebook was there. Like, I was posting on Facebook. So then he sees like a picture of me and this guy, and then he, just asks, "Is that your new boyfriend or whatever?" I didn't respond, and then he starts like posting pictures of the other girl, and I was following him like on Facebook. So he would post on his WhatsApp story. She was his status. She was his profile picture. She was everything, right? The following year, right? Just on her birthday, they engaged. That's just like 4 months. So they started dating in November. In March, they engaged.
Wow.
And I don't hear about it. And then until like my mom, who still follows him on Facebook, sees the video of him proposing, and then she sends it to me. So you can only imagine how I was feeling, right?
Wow.
And yes, they engage, they look like they're happy. And then, now that they engaged, I move here. I am right now. No, I haven't moved yet, but now I'm about to move. So, and before that, all this time, the reason why I had not come here before it was because of him. Because my mom actually didn't want me to write my O levels. She wanted me to just leave them, come here before I could write them, and then finish my high school here.
Yeah.
That's what she wanted. But I said no, I'm in love. And then I stayed in
Ain't that funny?
for this guy.
You know what love really makes you do.
Yes. And then I stayed in Zim for this guy. And even when Form 3 I refused. Form 4 she was like, hey, you don't need to write your exams, you just go. I'm like, nope, I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna stay because I love him. I'm gonna get married to him, blah blah, right? Okay. And then so now that he's engaged, I finally don't have any reason, because all this time I was thinking it's gonna work. Like I had hope.
So how did you feel when you found out that he was engaged?
I was broken. I watched the video 100 times. Like I would see him go on one knee, will you marry me? And I would just cry. I was broken.
Yeah.
Like when I said I was broken, I was really broken. And that's the thing. You know, people would assume that I slept with him because of how much I loved him or how much, but I never did. I just loved him. Pretty much nothing. Did he do anything for me? Not that much, but I just loved him. So I ended up coming to I came here. So when I was coming here, like a few days before. So when I came here, it was just abrupt. Like I bought the ticket. I didn't even know I was coming here until the day before. I knew I was coming, but not in that space of time. I thought I still had a lot of time. But my mom, when she saw how broken I was, she was sort of like sheeping me away. So she went, bought the ticket today, and then she just came home, said, you're going tomorrow.
You see, she did well because she could see that this Nyaya was becoming too hot and that you were in a really bad place mentally.
Yes. So I had already gotten my visa. I had it. So she just went, bought the ticket. She's like, you're out of here. You're going tomorrow. And I'm like, tomorrow what time? She's like, 5 a.m.
Wow.
And yes. So then now I'm trying to go to his house so I can say bye.
But
and
you
say
also,
bye.
but why are you going where guys now got like a home, fiance and whatever?
I didn't, don't even judge me. That's exactly what what I wanted to do. I don't even have a reason why I was trying to do that, but I needed to say bye. So I tried to go to his house, and then when I get there, his car is not there. So that was that. And then I tried calling him. He didn't pick up. I tried texting him. He didn't respond. Okay. The next day, on my flight, I go to South Africa. So I had that period of time, I forgot the name, before my next flight. So I was just in South Africa for a long time. And then he texted me. He's like, hey, I saw your calls yesterday and I saw your text messages. Hey, what's up? Can we meet right now? I saw that you said you wanted to talk. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm already in South Africa. Right? He's like, where you going? I'm like, I'm out. I told you, you knew I was gonna go. The place that I was refusing all this time, that's where I'm going. Are you gonna come back? I don't know. He's like, okay. And so that conversation, right?
Yeah.
Now that I'm gone, he sort of like, I don't know if it was just trying to play mind games or what it was, but he changed. Oh my God, Zuri, you're the love of my life. I've never been loved like the way you loved me. Yeah, I'm really sorry for everything that I did. Please, he didn't say come back, but he says, can you give me a chance? And I'm like, what chance am I giving you now that I'm going away? And he's like, well, think of something. And he was a guy who had money, so I knew if he wanted to come to Zim, if he wanted to come to where I am, he could afford it. So then I was like, yeah, sure. Let's give it a try. But what about your, other girlfriend?
your fiance, because
Your
he's now
fiance,
engaged and all
actually.
that, right? Yeah.
It's like we broke the engagement. Now we're just trying to date. I'm like, so did you do it as a show or what? Because it hasn't even been a month since you guys were engaged, and now you're saying you broke your engagement. It's like, yeah. The girl, Princess, she texts me now. I think a few days later, she finds those messages that were sent. She texts me. She's like, hey, I see that you're talking to my men. Leave my men alone. I was like, hey, I'm not even trying to talk to your men. Your man is trying to talk to me now. Like, I'm gone. You don't have to be afraid of me. Like, I'm not even there. But it so happened that now he was having problems with her. At least that's what he was saying. That it wasn't fun anymore. Now he was thinking about all the things I did for him, those lies. He was thinking about all of that. And then on the other hand, the girl is texting me. right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there was one time the girl texted me with, Ajigija texted me with Princess's phone,
Uh-huh.
but I ended up finding out this later. So in the text message, it came to me as if it was her talking.
Yeah,
She would
yeah.
say, "Hey, Zuri, me and him were not working.
Mm-hmm.
He's always thinking about you. He's always talking about
Wow,
you.
Ajigija,
Yes,
you're a real clown, mate.
yes. He's always talking about you. He
Wow.
thinks of you. He has told me that he wants you back. It was a mistake
Mm-hmm.
that he did whatever." Mind you, this guy texted me with her phone, deleted the evidence, right,
Mm-hmm.
of
Mm-hmm.
everything that he had texted, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, "But don't respond. If you want, if you want, don't respond to this. I just thought I should let you know,
Mm-hmm.
whatever." Right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna respond." I'm
Mm-hmm.
like,
Mm-hmm.
"Why are you not telling me this?" And then when I respond, she has a phone now. So I respond, and then she's shocked, like, "What am I talking about?" I'm like, "Yeah, you texted me yesterday talking about
Yeah.
Ajigija loves me. He's been thinking about me and all of that." And then she says, "You know what? Yesterday I forgot my phone in his car.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to work without my phone, and that's how he was texting you." So then we decide, you know what? Let's see what he's trying to do.
Mm.
Okay. We play along. So now I know. And this is weird, but this girl now says, "Oh, can we be friends?
Oh, get out of here.
I'm
You
sorry."
cannot do that, okay, with somebody who was messaging
Mm.
you previously and having a go at you. Why should you now be friends?
Who was threatening me and
Nay.
my whole family, telling me
No,
they're
no,
gonna
no, no,
beat
no,
me
no.
up?
You don't. So what did you
Like,
say? Did you guys then do a joint
so
forces
then,
thing?
yes, we did a joint forces thing, and then he's texting
Mm.
me, he's texting her, and all of that. Then we ended up like showing him all of his messages and
Mm-hmm.
everything,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's how he found out that we're together now. And then guess what he did? He
Mm.
comes there. Oh my God, standing at the bathroom. So he comes there, right? And then he says, he said, "Zuri, you know what? I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Mm.
I've chosen the other girl." And then
Mm-mm.
he goes to the other girl and says, "I told Zuri that I don't want her anymore, so I'm only gonna be with you, right?" And then
Mm-hmm.
this girl is like, "Yeah, sure." But the moment he goes away, he comes back to my inbox. "Oh yeah, I was just saying that so that she
This
doesn't
guy's
get mad, since
crazy.
he's a CI. Yes, since she's a CID, I didn't want her getting mad and all of
This
that."
guy's
And I'm like,
crazy.
yes. And mind you, I'm here.
Damn.
But anyway, that whole thing happened, and then he was still trying to play me. But during that time when he was still trying to play me, I had already met the person I'm with
Of
now.
course, yes, yes.
So yes, during when all of this is happening, and mind you, that year I was planning on going back to Zim to see him. So I had
Mm.
actually bought my ticket. I had actually bought everything so that I could go see him. And this guy was there. So I had told the guy that I'm with right now that, "Hey, I left a boyfriend back home. I left a boyfriend back home, and I'm gonna try and go see him." And this guy was like, "Yeah, it's fine. We're still just being friends then."
That's a bit too understanding. Hey,
I
had he
know,
expressed
I
interest in
know.
you yet? This is the new guy, or you're just friends at that point.
We were okay. So this new guy, we met in school here
Mm-hmm.
the first semester.
Mm-hmm.
And then he didn't talk to me for like a whole 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
He was nowhere to be found. He didn't ask for my number. He didn't ask for anything, my Instagram, nothing. So he didn't have any way to get a hold of me.
Mm-hmm.
When he came back, that's when we became friends.
Mm-hmm.
So he came back wanting to date me, but I had a boyfriend who was in Zim.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So then he just kept it friend
Oh
zone,
yeah.
sort of.
He kept it kosher, pretty much.
Yeah, because I kept talking about this guy, so he didn't have any way. Like, I don't think he would have wanted to say it when I
Mm-hmm.
was just focused on the other guy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I tried to go back home, and then my flight got cancelled and everything, so I didn't go home.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, now me and him, even after he had lied to me and said that, "Oh, I told the other girl that I don't want to date her, it's only you," I believed him still,
Mm-hmm.
and I had agreed to keep dating him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, so now we're dating long distance. We're seeing each other over the phone, video calls, and all of that. And at the same time, he's still dating this girl.
Yeah.
But the thing is this, right? With him, after I then, like, when my flight got cancelled and I couldn't go back home, I, for some reason, it just ended. Like, I now started paying attention to this guy. I think it was mainly because I knew I wasn't going to be able to go. And this guy was really, really nice to me. Like, he was really doing everything that the other guy didn't do. Ajigija didn't do anything for me, but
Yeah,
this
of course,
guy is
yeah.
doing it like 1,000 times. Like, he's taking good care of me. He really likes me, likes spending time with me. You know, all of the nice things that I didn't get from Ajigija, that's what I was now getting. So we didn't break up with him.
Oh,
Like, the second time. No.
right.
I just started paying attention to the other person, and that was it.
What a crazy story. You know, but what I like about it is the innocence that's involved in this, because you were not able to see a lot of the stuff that was happening behind your back that would have given you red flags.
No.
But it also gives a really clear understanding why you would say sometimes things that feel like love aren't really love. Because all it was for this guy was an opportunity for him to just sit down and take advantage of your innocence and get you hooked in. But he really wanted to mess around, especially with Princess.
And I think that's exactly what it was. And you know, this guy kept on telling me that he was gonna be my husband, and I believed him because he never forced to sleep with me. And I know, like, with how old he was and the people he could have dated, he could have easily dated someone who could have slept with him. But he never asked me, you know, that. So because of that, I told him, I'm a virgin, I'm saving myself. So he'll be like, okay, I'll get married to you. So even that, it made me think like, oh, you know, he really likes me. He wants me to be his wife. So that's why he's saving me and all of that. But behind my back, he was sleeping with people. He was doing
he
all
was.
of
Yeah.
that.
And that's the thing, you know, because he knew that, one, you were not the right age for that sort of thing. And he had needs that needed to be taken care of because he's a grown-ass man. And he clearly took advantage. Oh, man, what an absolute mess.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, I'll tell you the really good thing about this. It's it's the sheer fact that the one that you're with showed you the right thing. And
oh my God.
And I think that's why you gave me lesson number 2, where you talk about date your type or someone who's on your level. Because if he didn't show you all the goodness that you get now, you would have stuck with that guy who was neither your type nor on your level and was a real clown, to be honest.
I would have because
you would have.
When I started dating this guy, I then now it's like, you know, it's so sad because it had to take him to come and tell me my worth, or to come and show me what I'm worth and what I deserve. It's really sad like that because I didn't get to, you know, figure it out by myself. But this guy came and changed the whole game, pretty much. Like, everything changed. Like, doors were being opened. How many guys still open doors?
Oh,
geez.
How many? It's between 0. Well, I can't say 0 and none, but it's a small number.
I'm treated like a princess.
Hey, now you now you're the princess now, yeah.
I am, especially with this. Oh, so the guy, they didn't get married with the other girl, with Princess.
Yeah,
they didn't.
Yeah, this is the princess I'm referring to. Jeez, took you a while to clock that, didn't you? What a clown. We got there in the end. Jeez.
I know. But with Princess, they never got married. Princess ended up, you know, getting, I don't know if she's married, but, you know, Princess ended up going her way. He ended up going his way. But,
well, do you know what? It's his loss, to be fair, because now you're with someone who you really love and someone who you really care about. And I bet you he's still a very disorganized guy who is unclear about what he really wants to have.
It's sad. I hope it's not like that.
Yeah.
I really hope it's not like that.
Well, you did yourself a favor, Zuri. And
thank you.
You know, and really thank you for sharing your story with me. And just to play back those lessons, the first one up, sometimes things feel like it's love, but it really isn't. And then second up, make sure you date your type or someone who's on your level. You've been listening to another episode of The Feeling Station. I'm your host, Tinto, and I look forward to catching you in next weekend's episode. Peace.
Tell me what you're feeling.
Sati zandaro rwaini handichagedzaini.
Tell me what you're feeling now that it's over.
Sati zandaro rwaini handichagedzaini.
Let me talk about my feelings. Let me talk about my feelings, yeah.
Rudo imoto runoto kuchidziro amai.
Kuchidziro amai. Love is a fire.
Rudo imoto runoto kuchidziro amai.